Welcome to More Than a Few Words, a marketing conversation for business owners. This is your host, Lorraine Ball. And if you are like me and like most business owners, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of stress, and there's a lot that comes at you. And sometimes you just need to take a breath. A few minutes of yoga or a few minutes of meditation can completely reset your day. And that's not as woo woo as it sounds. It makes good sense. And to talk about this, I have invited Ann Swanson to join me. She's the author of the international best selling book, Science of Yoga. It has been translated into more than 15 languages, and her new book, Meditation for the Real World, illuminates the fascinating science behind meditation with step by step practices to help you find peace in everyday life. And welcome to the show.
I'm so glad to be here, Lorraine.
I am so glad to have you. And the thing that really caught my attention when we first started talking about this was the idea of 1 minute meditations. Can I really get anything done in a minute?
Yes, even less than a minute. Even as you're listening right now, take a few slower breaths and readjust your posture. You'll feel immediate effects just from sitting a little taller and taking some slow breaths. You can even enhance that by taking 3 slow breaths with an elongated exhale. So make the exhale a little longer than your inhale. And I suggest just breathe in and out of your nose. So just nice and easy. Nobody needs to know you're doing this. You could do it while you're talking to someone. But there are physiological effects that we measure that show that this helps you lower your blood pressure immediately and lower your heart rate. Get into focus better. So, when we take just a few moments, it can make a profound difference.
Well, I have to tell you that I was actually trying that while you were talking, and I do feel a little better. So I'm a believer and I'm ready to take the next step. There's chaos, there's phones ringing, there are people waiting outside my office that want to talk to me. But I need to just reset so I can go back out there and face all of that. Beyond just breathing, what can I do to kind of reset in a minute?
There's a variety of techniques depending on the circumstance. But if you're trying to focus better, let's say you're about to go into a call, you really want to focus, you may want to just focus on one particular area of your body for a moment. And one area I like to focus on is just the hands. You can place your hands in your lap, palms facing up, and feel all the sensations in your hands. Feel the vibration, the pulsation, feel all that's there, that's always there. We just don't notice it. And feel it fully. Be aware of it when your mind wanders. Just come back to feeling your hands. So you could really focus on any body part, but the hands have so many sensory nerve receptors that we can tune into.
I love that. And I'm going to encourage anybody, if you're listening, as Anne goes through some of these little techniques, try them with us. She's switching gears and dropping into what I call a meditative coaching voice.
Mhm.
And this is a show you might actually want to listen to and listen to again when you're stressed. Okay, so we talked about I want to focus. And so picking a particular part of my body and focusing on just that helps me clear away some of the chaos. Maybe I've got a different challenge. Maybe I'm just feeling the weight
Mm.
of the day. There's a lot of decisions I need to make. There's some things that are really just weighing me down. What can I do to lift some of that away?
It sounds silly, but focus on an area high in your body, like right between your eyebrows. This area, it's deemed mystical in a lot of traditions as the third eye area, but we also know that right between your eyebrows is your prefrontal cortex. That's the area that allows us to make good decisions, to plan the future, to evaluate the past, to be in that executive functioning we want to be as entrepreneurs. So you could have your eyes closed because it looks kind of silly with the eyes open, but you could have your eyes open. You're going to actually literally kind of cross your eyes and look up toward it. And don't do it so much you're straining your eyes, but you're just feeling that awareness. Now, if you're driving or something, obviously don't do this. Just focus on that area in between your eyebrows and bring your attention there. That upward energy can help give you a little more energy. And you might want to take some fuller breaths, more energizing breaths, kind of like louder breaths, hearing the whisper sound in your breath for a few breaths. And you'll notice a difference in your energy. Of course, sitting taller too helps you lift that energy.
Awesome. Are there exercises or movements that I should add to my meditation to perhaps amplify the results, recognizing that I'm kind of still in an office environment or a business environment, so laying down on the floor may not necessarily be a great thing.
Yeah. So, well, in an office environment, we can take a break and go on a walk in nature. That could be as simple as a green space, a little park nearby, or a blue space, a fountain. Look at the water, hear the sounds. Hearing the sounds of nature, like maybe you're outside and there's a city, but you can still hear the birds. Focus in on the bird sounds. So, taking little breaks of just 10 minutes, doing a walking meditation can help you get into that flow. And when you're walking, the eyes do something really cool. They scan the environment left and right. And that is helping your brain to process things, right? We have certain therapies that bring our eyes left and right to help us process. So just the act of walking can help you if you're like overwhelmed and you need to process something. And we call that a walking meditation. So do that somewhere where there's a little taste of nature and tune into the nature.
Awesome. And I've always been, I've never thought of it as necessarily a walking meditation, but I've always been a fan of getting out and getting a walk in and just using that to readjust my energy.
Mm.
What else, if I'm trying to add some of these practices into my day, should I consider or think about that'll help me be a better manager, be a better leader, make better decisions?
Well, you want to look for cues that are going to spark a mindful moment. So, for example, you notice you kind of like play with your ring a lot, and we do something like that. We fidget with our necklace or ring. Maybe that ring is your wedding ring or given to you by your grandmother. You take a moment of gratitude and appreciate that person in your life, right? So, a cue to be mindful and present. Maybe, you have vitamins to take or prescription pills to take. I call that the medication meditation. You take your prescription or vitamins, and then you just take a moment as you feel them going down and you imagine them healing your body. I know this sounds silly, but this can be beneficial for you to get more physiological benefits and enhance these things. Same with drinking your water. Have a sip of water right now. I just did it and I feel the coolness going down my throat. This is a hydration meditation. Every time you take a sip of water, you can consider that a cleansing. A lot of therapists do these sort of techniques to kind of cleanse when they're processing something. So take a moment and feel that. You can do it during a business meeting and it allows you to reset. So it could be a minute meditation or it could be these little mindful moments you put through the day that are like sparks to help you come back into the present moment and be more focused.
As I've listened to you over the last few minutes, the thing that really comes through to me is that at any point in your day, you can stop and you can take a moment, and it doesn't have to be a 30-minute meditation or a long yoga practice, but these little moments of self awareness and mindfulness can really help you get set for the next challenge that you're going to face.
Absolutely. And we've all heard the advice to just be mindful. But that's easier said than done. I think we need to integrate techniques that are going to help us get into being mindful and get into flow state more, which is what we want as
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, to be in that place that psychologists say is in flow, where you're completely immersed in your activity and working at your peak performance. So these meditations, whether they be a breath, a minute, 10 minutes, they are helping you get into flow state quicker, faster, stay there longer.
Awesome. Well, Anne, this has been fabulous. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much. And I have a gift for your listeners. If they go to meditationfortherealworld.com, there's the links to grab the book, which is really a handbook for meditations in the real world for during those hectic times. And I'll give you audio meditations as a gift when you get the book that help you optimize your practice with music that is engineered to improve your brain waves for practice. So meditation for the real world.
Fantastic. Meditationfortherealworld.com. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. I know that there are people in my audience that are really going to appreciate those tools.
Thank you, Lorraine.
And thank you. And if you've enjoyed today's conversation, if you'd like to find other resources for your business, look for more episodes of More Than a Few Words. Listen to two, they're short. This has been another episode of More Than a Few Words. Thanks for listening.